that they give out the awards and all paid by the company from the airline. And that was unique. I've never attended any of the evening functions since being employed, but I'm always so involved in the children's program and the sports day and clean up after that. So every company, like we said today, we are not here to define what you make, the decision that you make for your company. We are just recommending, because it's family table talk, we are looking at it from that angle. As much as possible, please try and involve the families of your employees. Because sometimes, you know, they are a misfit to, even they don't feel confident to come to the office. Here, in my TV, as much as possible, when I hear their spouses coming in or their children coming in, I try as much as possible to meet up with them and talk to them. We had one of our staff who walked in and said, I'm asking to go home a little bit early today. And I said, what happened? I said, my wife is outside and my child. And I said, call them in. Two of my children said, call them in for us to meet. So he went, called his wife, called his children. And I said, you know, come meet these other people working with your husband. And don't worry, he's in good hands. And we always rule him. And this is Collie. And it's good because I like that. I like, you know, when you are at home, being spouse for the staff that are actually working here, for them to be confident with the fact that, you know, they are in another family and they are in good hands, that nothing is happening anywhere else. And that's the assurance that I would like to give to the spouses of our staff who are at home or not working in the same company as we do. So, but then you want to understand kita singkila na dapat itu kena company. Sena ada itu kena bali bola. Na biwin debi ada itu kena na baby na kati ada itu kena. Ningono ngana ada making do na wrong setup. Raw sara ni ada kena do na ka. Inangona rakib erviki lekina. Confident na tukiva lerekila. Oh kaya da dapat kaya kaya. Or to da kavan. Da girma da kaya mai ni alin isteni total mendua. You know itu kena na confidence there. And I can relate back to the airline. And I still remember I used to be at Human Resources Division at one stage of my workplace or time, or the department that I was working for, and we were surrounded, or I was surrounded by male employees as well, or even management. And it was more male-dominated than female. So sometimes we have the wives calling in. And one thing that I always try as much to do, when the wives call in, I try to introduce myself, you know, to stabilize it, to say, you know, he's out of the office, but don't worry. I will make sure that he calls you back. And I will write it down. I will not just leave it on their desk. I will wait until that person called back. And sometimes, you know, they are irritated with me. My manager will come and say, you know, yeah, I've got the message. And I said, you know, can you remember to call your wife? Yeah, I've got the message. You don't need to tell me so many times, you know, like you get this kind of response. And I will never, you know, take that. And I will say, no, I just want to make sure that you call your wife. I don't want her to feel that I took the message, another female took the message, you know, from that workplace, and she might assume that I didn't pass on the message. I want her to know that I pass on the message, and that is why I want to make sure that you call. I can be so irritable in the workplace when it comes to that. And I know people who have worked with me in the department, the division that I work for in the airline, you know exactly the kind of person I am and the stand that I make.
Because you want to stabilize the spouse
at home. On the other side. Yeah.
Because it's very common in the workplace.
Yes.
You know, where especially when the wife at home and calling the husband working.
Yeah, it can be vice versa. It can be the husband
calling
the wife.
And because received by the opposite sex. And, you know,
you automatically, thoughts,
automatically. And when the husband calls back to the wife, then the wife at home will feel, oh, my message got through.
Yes.
So
yeah, I like that.
You stabilizing the thinking, because you can't control people's mind. You can't control. And in most organizations, it's known, but nobody wants to talk about it.
Yes.
The extramarital affairs
happening.
And even maybe not extramarital affairs.
Yeah, they have the corridor ones, they have everything.
The casual attitude, the jokings, all these things.
Yeah.
And the woman at home or the man at home will not want the husband or the spouse to work in that kind of environment.
Yes.
So when you do that, you are stabilizing.
Yeah, I'm glad. I mean, I didn't really realize how that, you know, how effective it was. And Richard Stage, this, spouse of one of my managers, Richard Stage, that whenever she calls, and she can be talking to anybody else, and if she's speaking to somebody else who may have picked up the phone or the husband's handset, and the next person